I was committed to Brown out of high school.
Okay.
I got a call from the coach a week before my state championship football game in December, and he's like, "Dude, I hate to say it, but your spot got canned. They
Now
made cuts."
this is for football.
No, this is for baseball.
For
but
baseball. Okay, so Brown
but
University.
this is like a week, like with the week leading up to my state championship football game in the Carrier my senior year.
Oh,
yeah. So you could imagine how focused you have to be for that.
right.
I get that call. I had like the lowest SAT, so my spot got canned. I was going to an Ivy League school to play baseball. All of a sudden, I'm not going to college.
There are no secrets to success, just things you haven't learned yet. And once you learn them, it's up to you to apply them. I'm Jamal, aka Boss Eagle, Billboard charting hip hop artist and music business coach. Join me as we talk digital marketing, social media, technology, and more, and share interviews with industry professionals to help you unlock the secrets and take control of your music career. Because we are the new music business, and this is the Indie Musician Secrets Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Indie Musician Secrets Podcast. I'm your host, Jamal, aka Boss Eagle, Billboard charting hip hop artist and music business coach at Business Minded Musicians. And I just want to welcome you all to today's episode. I'm so excited that we have our guest on today, PIP, who's going to be sharing a little bit with us about his journey and launching music and a new label and NFTs and all that good stuff. So, Pip, thanks for coming on today, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, just to get started, kind of like tell me a little bit about you. You know, where are you from? What was your upbringing like? What were you into coming up as a kid?
Yeah, so my full name is Thomas Pipolo. Everybody calls me Pip growing up, playing sports. That was like my nickname, so that's where you get the artist name from. But yeah, I'm from Mamaroneck, New York. It's in Westchester County, just north of New York City. Yeah, I grew up playing sports my whole life. That was literally my entire life. Football, baseball, basketball. I was a really good quarterback actually, but baseball was probably like my biggest love. And I dedicated everything to that. Tried to play professionally. I played Division I at several schools, but mainly UMass Amherst. And then, yeah, like in the beginning, or I say at the beginning of college, randomly started getting into like messing around with the guitar, piano. And then it just like spiraled into me like singing somehow and then writing.
Okay.
I really don't. Yeah, everybody asks. Yeah.
Hold on, before we jump into that music stuff, I want to talk because I'm a big sports fan. So hold on real quick, because I want to know about this sport. So okay, so you played all these sports growing up and everything. What was the start of that? Like, did like a parent or a sibling or somebody get you into sports, or like what was the affinity with sports?
Yeah. So it's a super big family thing. Like the whole sports thing is in New York in general, but in our family, it's a very deep-rooted thing. My grandfather actually was the first one to he had a Coniston cone in our backyard, and he would put the ball on it. I don't remember it, but my parents have pictures and everything when I was like 2, hitting the ball and stuff, and it's just kind of crazy. But that's how I got started with baseball. And yeah, it was just in my blood. Like,
okay, it
was just in my blood kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, it's wild. Like, the whole journey, that whole sports journey, like prepared me for everything that I'm doing now.
That's awesome.
But it was definitely a roller coaster ride. But I mean, it really, the biggest thing that happened with the sports is like baseball, man. It was such this kind of thing. And
okay,
I am 5'5", so that was like a challenge, right? Like I was playing quarterback at 5'5",
nice.
Slinging the ball in the Carrier the state championship and stuff. But
some Doug Flutie.
Yeah. Probably shortest QB in history. But no, I got it done. And more than that, like I knew I had the ability to play at the next level. It was just and stuff just didn't work out. Like I was committed to Brown out of high school. I got a call from the coach a week before my state championship football game in December. And he's like, dude, I hate to say it, but your spot got canned. They made
this is for football.
No, this is for baseball.
For baseball. Okay, so Brown
but
University.
This is like a week, like with the week leading up to my state championship football game in the Carrier my senior year.
Oh.
Yeah, so you could imagine how focused you have to be for that.
Right.
I get that call. I had like the lowest SAT, so my spot got canned. I was going to an Ivy League school to play baseball. all of a sudden I'm not going to college. It's like, yeah, it's hilarious. It really is funny. Yeah.
So like the whole, like not even just sports, like you didn't even have a way to go to college then.
No, like, yeah, I applied. I was going to play at Davidson, didn't get in. Yeah, and a couple schools that fell through. So I wound up having to go to post grad at IMG Academy in Florida, which wound up being an amazing thing. Like it all leads into another, but that pain.
I've actually been to that campus before.
Yeah,
IMG Academy. It's crazy.
It's basically like Olympic Village for high school. Like people, you know what I mean? It's exactly. That's all it is. Yeah.
And so now, when was this? When did you end up going to IMG Academy?
Yeah. So 2014, I graduated high school. So 2015, I was at IMG for a year. I actually committed to UMBC that summer to go play ball. Right, even before I stepped foot on campus at IMG. So it was like a quick thing, but man, that journey of like, I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff in life in general, but the baseball stuff, that was like a gut punch because I was the hardest worker in the room. And at that time, like my whole life, it's like I work hard, I get rewarded kind of thing. Not like anything was given to me. But that was the first time I was like, wait, you can work your you know what off and not get anything in return.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. I'm seeing everybody sign their national letters of intent and all this stuff. I'm like, God, like that's where I get the fire.
Okay.
To do everything.
So here you are, 5'5" quarterback going into state and everything. A week before you get a call, cut. Like you're not going to Brown. No baseball scholarship. And you said baseball was your number one thing. So you were that's what you were really trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah. It might sound crazy to people, but yeah, I mean, I know I had the skill and everything. I was 5'5", but I didn't really care. Like now I knew I had it in me. Yeah.
Are you taller now?
No, I'm 5'5". I stopped growing. It was funny. I was good at basketball, man, until like 8th grade when everybody else started growing, and I just stopped.
You didn't try the whole Muggsy Bogues thing, right?
No, I don't have the handles like that.
Oh man, so that's like you said, a gut punch, man. Like to have like the whole rug pulled out from under you. So you end up down in Bradenton, Florida. You're at IMG Academy for a year. Then what? What happens after you finish that year?
Yeah, so that year was crazy. I mean, I met some of the best friends, like some amazing people that I'm gonna be friends with for life. After that, I wound up at UMBC, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. It's a Division I school in like the America East Conference. And that's when the road started to get even more rough. The first scrimmage of fall ball.
That was this baseball?
Yeah, baseball. Yeah.
Okay.
Baseball. First scrimmage of baseball in the fall. I played whatever, played good. Come back home to like a wedding, and I'm like on the dance floor. I'm like, my groin is like killing me. Like, what is this?
Ooh.
Yeah. So went back and the doctors and everything were like, oh, you're fine. It's just like a groin tweak. So me being me too, I never pull myself out or anything like that.
Is this because of all you were killing on the dance floor?
No,
is that what it is? You're getting your Channing Tatum on.
No, I don't have those moves like that. I got to work on the dance moves. When I get some more money, maybe I'll go get some dance lessons. But I definitely don't have the moves. No, maybe I got one or two in the bag. But
okay. I didn't know you said you were at a wedding, man. I didn't know.
I know.
Killing it.
I mean, obviously, I was probably trying to cut the rug, but
right.
Like I'm just walking. I'm like, what's going on? My groin is like killing me.
Yeah.
So I went back and yada yada yada, and I didn't take myself out the whole 5 weeks. I mean, a week into the fall ball period, which is 5 weeks, I knew I was like, there was something really wrong, but I didn't. Nobody, the doctors, nothing was clicking with people, and I just played through it. And by the end of it, I wound up not being able to like walk around campus. And I wound up I tore both the groin. Like, have you heard of core muscle surgery? It's like the muscles attached to your pelvis.
Okay.
Yeah. So I tore those. I had to get that first, and then I tore both of my hip labrums. So I had bilateral hip labrum surgery and then the core muscle surgery first, but then
So you're basically like
19,
20 at this point?
Yeah, I was 19. Yep.
And you had this major surgery.
Yeah. So the first surgery was in December after that, after the fall ball, which it was that like the muscle surgery, which takes a month. And then since that didn't like solve anything, that's how we knew that I needed to be operated on with the labrums. So then I had that at the I had that, I think, a few months later, and that was like a year. That was like a year and a half. I was out for around a year. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Crazy.
Okay, so you
And there's
okay,
more.
real quick. Did you at least win state?
Oh god, no.
Oh
My
man.
senior year, we lost in baseball and we lost in football by 1 point.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I had the game. The only thing that keeps me going to this day is that I had the game of my life. I like won the offensive MVP on the losing.
Okay.
But it's still, I mean, I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So you lose state, you lose the scholarship. You go down to IMG Academy, you're at the wedding trying to impress the ladies, cutting a rug. You pulled a hitch like at the end where Kevin James does the splits, trying to do the leapfrog. Yeah,
That's
messed
hilarious.
yourself up.
That's hilarious.
And now you had surgery and everything. Okay, so my man, like mentally at this point, like, where are you?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that because we're getting to the point where in a year or so I figured out like I have like bad anxiety kind of that needs to get treated. But at that time I had no clue. I'm like a freaking go-getter. I just plow through, right? No matter what's in front of me, I figure it out and get it done.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's where I was at. I was like, I'm getting healthy. I wound up wanting to transfer because I was like, I don't love this school anymore since I'm hurt. So I went to junior college down in Florida, Fort Myers, FSW. I don't know how, but I grinded it out. I played pretty well, and I wound up committing to UMass after that.
Okay.
But like mentally, where we're going with this is that the cup, like my sister says it all. One of my sisters says it. It's like the water was up to the top of the cup, and like at UMass, everything had to go perfect for it to work, kind of thing.
Okay.
And it just wasn't the right fit. Like I don't know, just as simple as that.
At UMass when you transferred.
Yeah. Okay. At UMass, like I love the school, everything, and just the whatever it just wasn't the right fit. And it all happens for a reason, obviously. But that was the tip. That was like the tipping point. That's when it was like, you know what, man, like my mom was like, dude, you're either quitting or you're going to get like help. I always saw somebody and whatever. With the stuff I went through like prior to baseball and whatever, but like I didn't know that there was such a thing as medicine or any of this stuff. So I went to go to the doctor and they're like, dude, you have anxiety. Like literally like my mouth I wouldn't be able to have like saliva in my mouth and the sleeping at night and all this stuff. I had no clue. I thought it was just like me. I'd wake up in the morning, I have these thoughts of like, what, like you're gonna suck at baseball or like, you know what I mean? You can't sleep. And it's like you think that's normal until it's not, and you're like, whoa, like this world is completely different than I thought it was. So that's what happened at UMass for those 2 years. It was the hardest 2 years of my life, but like I'm glad I went through that then.
Absolutely.
It set me up for everything. I was legit a shell of myself. I'm proud of myself for getting back to the point that I did. I wound up going to LIU the next year after that and whatever, then COVID. But like I bounced back from that. And that's like out of anything, that's the biggest accomplishment of my life.
Absolutely.
Like getting back on the train in that end. So
well, let me ask you this. How did because I know you started to talk about it a little bit earlier, but how did music enter your life? What's kind of the beginnings and foundations of that?
We would always go to plays and stuff as family. Like we'd go to Broadway and I didn't like come home and like, oh, I want to learn piano or anything like that forever. But I always loved like the music from the shows and like I really think that that's like the beginning of it all.
Okay.
Because it just inspired me like in so many ways. Like I always got like pumped up from going to a Broadway play. I don't know why. Maybe it was the music. Like I didn't realize that was in me, but yeah, I'd say that's like the start of like my music. Like randomly, it was Thanksgiving dinner at my aunt's house, probably when I was a senior in high school or so. I don't even know. And she has this like old piano that nobody touches, and I was just like bored. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go try to play this thing. And I like went on YouTube, pulled up like a lesson, like of some song. It was like learning. I was like, wow, this is kind of fun. And like, at the time, right, with the anxiety, I didn't know that I had like anxiety, but it like locked me in to the point where like I didn't think about anything else, right? I was like, how the heck do you play with two hands at the same time, kind of thing? You know
I need four.
Like what? Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, I think that's what like did it for me, is that holy crap, like when I'm playing the piano and I'm learning this, like nothing else, there's literally nothing else. And that was in the middle of everything going on with family members, and not like, it just completely shut out everything. And it wasn't on purpose, or it just is what it was what it was. So that spiraled into me. I downloaded like an app on my mom's iPad. I was like learning like, on that little thing. And then parents got me a keyboard, and then acoustic guitar, Christmas, and then singing. I don't know how I don't like, I really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no clue.
So now, were you playing any instruments at all, like in any of your stops in college or at IMG or?
Yeah, so that was the time when I was like, when I had my guitar, teaching myself and like just starting to write a little bit. Actually, one of the first songs I wrote was with Carter Smith. Like, and I see a guitar in his back, in his trunk. I'm like in his bed of his truck. I was like, dude, you play guitar? He's like, yeah, I'm just picked it up. I'm learning this and that. I'm like, dude, same here. Like, and then it was just like, we're writing songs in the dorm, and
nice.
And one of the songs that we wrote together, the first song was on the EP that I just released. So it's like, it's crazy how stuff works. But yeah, that throughout college, it was like, I'd say at IMG, it was like, dude, come sing. Like, dude, like, I want to hear if you can play or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, from like 2 or 3 people. And then you go to UMBC, and it was like, okay, like, what the heck? Like, I put out a video on YouTube, maybe. It was like, what the heck? This kid sings. And then UMass or FSW was with Carter, writing, playing for more people. And then UMass was like where I kind of broke my shell a little bit. And my teammates and their friends and everything would just group up and just jam out. And
nice.
That's where I think I like, it was like, okay, wait, like there's something like here. Like I would get,
Now at that point, were you still thinking baseball, or were you starting to think, like, I'm getting good at this music thing? Or
at that time, I was like, okay, there's something here. I know that if baseball doesn't work out, there is music. But like where my head is at, it's like, I'm playing until they rip the jersey off my back. Like, that's how much like baseball was to me. Like, and I would always have people tell me like, dude, especially those guys, because they didn't see me play like how I played. They'd be like, dude, what do you do? Like, quit. Like, what do you like? Go do music. I'm like, guys, I'm not not quitting. You know what I mean?
So,
yeah.
So then what was that Band-Aid getting ripped off? Like, was it a slow transition or was it a quick transition where it was just like, okay, something happened and baseball's over? Or was it like, hey, I'm really starting to like this music thing? Like, what was the transition then?
Yeah. So there's another college on the stop after this.
College road trip.
It's crazy, man.
Get on the bus.
But, no, you're getting through this is good. This is good. So that whole time at UMass, I knew in the back of my mind, I didn't admit it to anybody, right? But I knew that music was just like too easy for me. Obviously, when you get over the hurdle of teaching, it came so freaking easy. Nice. I was like, wait a second, like this is it. Like I knew it was it, but the way I work is like I'm seeing something through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was I truly wanted to see it through too, but I knew that music was going to be it. Like, it was like that gut feeling like, dude, this is it. Like how it's unexplainable. You know what I mean? How can I learn all these instruments and sing and write song? Like there's no explanation for it. That's it. That kind of stuff is when you know you're doing the right thing, when it's easy.
Yeah. Yep.
And my whole life, I thought the opposite, right? It's like, go. That's how you're taught as athletes, right? It's like push harder. When really the best things in life, like there's a balance, but the best things in life are when you don't push hard.
Yeah. I mean, you got to work for sure. There's work that's put into it. It's not balance. Like, absolutely. But yeah, when it just flows and it flows naturally.
I get chills. I got chills down my whole body. It's crazy.
Yep.
But how music happened was, so I wound up at LIU for my post-grad to get my master's and play my last year.
Okay, so what's LIU?
So Long Island University.
Long Island University.
Yeah. Okay. Division I school out on Long Island, whatever, close to home, get a master's degree in data analytics, go in a front office if baseball doesn't work out or music, whatever.
Sure.
But that's where I met, like, I don't know how he found me or whatever, but that's how I met 2AM, who's my like closest collaborator, DJ producer.
Okay.
And that's what literally kicked, I mean, the whole thing. Like he was the missing piece behind everything that was going on in my head with like songs and just I didn't know who had to produce or anything like that. It was like once met him, it was kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was like that's where I went right away after baseball ended. But it's so crazy to think about. Like, imagine if I quit at any of those stops, like I would have never met him.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
exactly. Yep.
Like,
yeah. So
You know
your
what I mean?
your baseball journey and you know, the different stops and everything is what, you know, led you guys to end up being able to come
I would have
together
never
and
met him. Yeah, I
yeah,
would never
find that
met him.
missing piece. So
Crazy.
then so now you meet DJ 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Music is starting to happen, everything. So take me to the transition to now. So like, what is it? So for people who are listening and everything, what is it that you do now? Like, kind of what's your main thing that you're working on music
Yeah.
wise?
Yeah. So I'd say I'm pop, but
So
I
you're
have
an artist. You're a music
yeah,
artist.
so I'm an
Music
art like
artist.
I'm an artist,
Okay.
but so
Yep.
so what happened was me and 2 a.m. put out a song called 222, and it kind of took off a little bit. I mean, and we got the attention of a big manager. We got signed to him. We were writing, producing for people first, and then we were going to bounce our own music off of it. And we just got sick of waiting around for people to do stuff, right? Like we go. Like
Yeah.
that's one thing that I have, the athlete mentality with the music, and like we pump out music and we go 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 go. And
Right.
that's what's easy for us, the music, which is unreal. It's just about the whole time. It's like, dude, if we had money, if we had eyeballs, like we could do this ourselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's not
Right.
so and we were just waiting around. You're going back and forth to Miami, to Nashville. It's like, when is this big artist going to get in the studio? When is that? It's like, why am I like, I know why. It's because there's no other option at the time. There
Right.
was no other option. Like, why am I being at the mercy of everybody else? Like when we have
Mhm.
literally the gasoline that powers everything, the song.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? And then like I'd say January, I was done with it, dude. I was like, you know what? Like I'm done with this. That's when I really buckled down. I was like, you know what? This NFT thing that I was introduced to a year ago, but 2 years ago by Nick Johnson, like our lead advisor for Concave Records. He's a family friend. I met with him 2 years ago during the middle of the pandemic. Nothing was happening with music or NFTs and NFTs. It was just NFTs, right?
Yeah.
It was like, dude, what is this NFT thing? Like,
Yep.
this is going to change the music industry. And I met with him, and he was talking Chinese. I had no clue what he was
Yeah.
talking about. A year later, I met with him, or we linked up again. He's like, dude, if you don't do this, like, if you don't figure this out, you're going to regret this for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Still didn't do anything because we were with the manager and going back and forth. I was like, dude, like, whatever. Then January hit. We're sitting in our rooms waiting, like, to go down there and cut music. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Like, this is enough. Like, I'm buckling down.
January of this year.
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
January of this year. So,
Yeah,
so 2022. This is just 4 or 5 months ago.
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So now you're getting ready to say, like, forget this. We're sick of waiting. We're going to make our own music. And you're working on your own music. And then now you have this other piece, this NFT stuff that was introduced to you from a family friend advisor, and you implemented that. But you couldn't have implemented it without learning about it, because you said it's like speaking a foreign language. So what was your introduction into starting to learn about it? Did you just go in like your athlete mentality, like all in, like I'm gonna start learning Web3 and all this stuff? Like, how'd you approach that?
Yeah, so I'd say when I met with him 2 years ago, it like kicked me off on a journey to learn more. Like I would pop, my buddy Vinny, 2 a.m. lives on Long Island, so an hour away from me. Every time I would drive out, I'd pop in a podcast from like Gary Vee or Web3 or whatever, try to just keep feeding my brain, trying to figure out if it could click. Obviously it didn't click. And then, my whole family wound up getting COVID but me. So I was reverse quarantine. I was in my room in my studio, like locked in. I was like, you know what? Like, dude, like suck it up. Like, stop being ignorant about the fact that there's these bored apes selling for millions. Like, what is behind this?
I actually heard you on another podcast, actually with my music coach, Rick Barker. Shout out to Rick. And I was really struck by what you all talked about on that podcast. And not just the implementation and use of NFTs, but the success you had. And you're talking about, you just left all this other stuff in January. Here we are in May. And if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, you made $20,000 in 24 hours with music NFTs. Is that right?
Yes, sir. So when I locked myself in the room, I looked at like Bored Apes and all these other projects, these random projects. Like, why are they successful? Why are people buying art? You know what I mean? What is it more than a picture or whatever? And the more I researched and like listening to people, it's just a business. They're good at marketing. They're good at branding. They're offering value to their customers. It's just a digital business that you can then create into the real world, which is what we did Friday night, right? With the launch party. So I was like, wait a second, now that I know this is just a normal business, like, let me try to weave in music with this. Like, this is gonna work. So I figured out that the whole space lives on Twitter, which is major key to anybody out there. Like, go wipe the dust off the Twitter, like get your butts on Twitter. Like I can't tell that. I tell my people, like my people that I'm signing and that we're launching in June, like, guys, if you want this to work, like, get on Twitter. Like, it's just that simple. Like, people are like, I'm gonna call out Carter here, but Carter's like, dude, what about TikTok, like marketing? I'm like, dude, do you have money? Do we have money to pay a video guy to follow us? Or no? So where are people buying this stuff right now? Twitter. Like, I have 70,000 followers on TikTok. I don't even touch the thing, because it's like, that's not where I'm gonna get my return right now. Like, all of that stuff is gonna, and people are like, oh, it's a picture. Everything will happen for us in the normal music industry because of the leverage that we're creating right now in this space, because nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. Like, when's the last time people sold music or bought music?
Right.
Crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And that initial drop was like a crowd fund.
So walk us through, so if you wouldn't mind, just like kind of walk us through how, like, because I think there's still a lot of just people just like NFTs. It's people know the term or whatever, but like, how did you implement that? Like, what did you do to then get that 20K?
Yeah, so we have this whole team of people that we've been working with for the past year and a half. Like, we're all in on Web3. We're all in on NFTs. Like, I'm committed. I know the music industry is going to shift. Like, we're ready to pioneer this thing. And that's what we did with the crowdfund. It was like, here's the business plan. This is where we're going. We're selling 316 passes with different tiers or whatever, that give you access to our members only site. And the biggest thing is you get tickets for everybody that ever is signed to Cotton Candy Records for
tickets to live shows.
Yeah, for headlining shows for life. So for our middle tier of gold passes, we call them, there was 15 of them. We sold out. They're 0.5 Ethereum. At the time we sold them out, they were like $1,500 each. You get 2 tickets for life to every headlining show that for anybody ever signed to the record label. So just imagine, I mean, forget us, just us alone. If we started to do our own, I mean, we could do that this summer if we want to, you know what I mean? But the lifetime value of that thing is just it's absurd.
Absolutely.
Imagine if one of us hit, and the whole label's lifetime, you're Xing your money by a lot. People need to understand that this game is gonna work. The NFTs are gonna be a thing, because you don't need high volume. Like right now in the music industry, I need to go get 1 million streams on Spotify. I just got, what's 20,000 divided by 4,000? 5, right? 5. I just got 5 million streams in a day in terms of money. I mean, for the first day of the crowdfund. The crowdfund's still open and whatever, but like, that's like what we're talking about here. Like 30 or so people invested on the first day, and we made 20 grand.
And so so did people, the people that backed it, or the people who got the different levels, did they pay in crypto?
Yeah, they paid in. So this is the key. This was the key for us. This is how we captured a lot of people that had no clue about crypto or NFTs, but they believed in us and knew what we were doing. And like, whatever we do, they know it's gonna be legit. We actually set up like a Shopify kind of thing where, hey, you buy it in cash with your credit card, we'll convert it for you and we'll airdrop it to you. We'll get you set up with your wallet. Like, that was a ton of work. Let me tell you, it was a ton of work, but like, it was super important.
So you were setting people up with wallets.
I had my buddy. Me and my buddy and my 2 co-founders, Ali and Jake. We would be on the phone. Hey, download this app, go in, send us this address. We're gonna air. It was a
so the point about that is now you're building relationships.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Which is super important. Because these people are getting invested beyond just kind of the crowdfunding. Like 100%. You're getting into the worlds and stuff like that too. But I want to just go back real quick and just break down this for people who are like, okay, maybe I still don't understand. So what happened is, and correct me if I'm wrong, you ran a crowdfunding. This is how you got the 20,000. You had a crowdfunding campaign with different tiers, with different things available, tickets and such. And then people were backers, they backed that. But these are NFT setups, right? They're set up like an NFT, what you're giving. And so then in that first 24 hours, your 24-hour group or your initial surge, that netted you 20 grand.
Correct.
In that first 24 hours in terms of the different packages that you were
correct. It was like
available.
It was like 6.8 Ethereum, which at the time is 20 $1,000. But
Okay.
it's like our founders club. Like, I'm not saying we're gonna be Sony Music. I think we are, but say, you know what I mean? What if Sony Music did this? I mean, what the heck?
Exactly. You know, I don't knock the label model. I say it all the time. Like, hey, I'm whatever the career path you want to take, but I'm 150% pro artists taking control of their music career. And this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And this is exactly why I want to do these interviews, because I don't want people to just hear stuff coming out of my mouth. I'm like, you are listening to someone else's story who literally went through all this stuff, had management, working and waiting on these big artists and big names. And then they were just like, you know what? We're going to do this ourselves. We're going to do this ourselves. And not only that, we're going to take advantage of this thing that's happening right now called NFTs. We're not going to shy away from it. We're not going to ignore it, act like it's not there, but to say, hey, like, let's dive in, let's learn about this. And again, you know, if that's not you, and if it's something you're not interested in, that's totally fine too. But understand that, like, this is what's here now. And you guys jumped right in on that, and you're forging that and making that charge yourselves. And I just love it.
And it's look, like I tell everybody, it comes at your own time, right? Like, it took me 2 years to figure it out, and like jump in. But like, I stress to people, like, even whatever they do, if they're artists, whatever the heck they are, like, learn about this. This is literally the next internet. Like, I mean, it really, the music industry is coming this way. Like, let me tell you, we're getting hit up by major artists and people like jumping ship. Like, they're seeing there's no reason why a big artist can't do this.
But tell me about your launch. What did you launch? And then if you could speak briefly on your label as well.
So we did the crowdfund March 25th, and then that was to raise money for the EP and everything that I just released on May 27th. We did an 8-song EP called Cotton Candy Skies. And we threw a huge launch party in New York City in the Hudson Yards. All the NFT holders, like from the first drop, got open bar, free access, +1, like the whole 9. Like, they had a night. You know what I mean?
So you had this was for your NFT holders,
for everybody, but we set up, the whole point was to really show people, like, wait, these people are going to be treated like kings and queens or whatever for the rest of time. Like, why am I not buying a $200 NFT to get open bar and free entry and all this stuff? Like, they obviously care about me. You know what I mean? We had like 150 people turn out. It was like a crazy night. Like, went unbelievable. I mean, thank God I have the team that I have. Like, we have no clue what we're doing, but we're doing it. Like, I mean, we were
ready, fire, no aim.
I mean, it is like, it is a run and gun show over here, but we're gonna get it done somehow. until we get those big people coming our way and be like, you know what, we're gonna, you know what I mean? You guys
absolutely.
But
so you launched the EP then.
We launched the EP. The 8 songs, and some of those 8 songs were being pitched to the biggest artists in the world. So to like put those finally out, like, we had that song, we have stacks of music. We have like 2 years worth of music.
Wow.
So that's what allowed us the time to, or me the time to freaking jump into this, right? It's like, music's there.
Like you said, you had the gasoline already. You had the gasoline.
We have that's literally the industry, you know. Songs are literally the entire industry, and we have potential hit songs on our hands. Like, what are we doing? We just need eyeballs and money. We're getting eyeballs and money, and now we're building leverage, so it's gonna happen.
So you're launching you said your label, is that
June 22nd or so, outside of NFT NYC. We're gonna throw another like launch party, but for the label.
Hey, you said June 22nd.
I think it's June 22nd, but it's definitely gonna be that week outside of NFT NYC. It's like the biggest convention and stuff like that. But that's when we're gonna launch another huge NFT project, and people on the label are gonna drop some music and we're just gonna go. We're hosting like a music NFT meetup at the venue that I actually just had the launch party. 350 people, big like a panel thing. Hopefully, I think Illmind might be there and stuff. So we got to get you there. We got to get you to moderate one of those things.
Hey man, you just let me know, man.
We'll touch base.
Cotton Candy Records, I love, man. Tell me real quick where that name come from.
This stuff is so confusing in general, right? So it's like, like how do I convince people that I'm going from crowdfund to EP to record label? So I was like, okay, one of my best songs is called Cotton Candy Skies, like, and I think it's cool to have like a physical thing attached to like a label or for a character, and you know what I mean, like the whole thing. So I was like, you know what, Cotton Candy Records just like feels so good. I don't know what it is, but let's go with it. Like,
absolutely.
I like cool it. Branding and
I like it. I like it, man. I like it. And like I said, I love the picture there on the album cover. I did the same thing in my first album.
That's
too.
great.
And I'm looking here, you got your first song was on there called Elvis Presley. I'm actually going to the studio in a couple days to record my next single. It's called Tony Danza. So see, we name it, we name it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
that's really cool. But let me ask you just one more question real quick here as we kind of wind down. And I mentioned it earlier, just this idea that there are no secrets to success. There's no magic bullet. What is one secret or piece of advice or piece of insight that you would give to independent artists who are just trying to make their way as well?
It's so hard because there's so many things that I'm passionate about telling people. But if there's one thing, like I'd say is get out of this mindset that everybody has you thinking that the only way to make it is through a label and all this stuff. Like, power to everybody doing music and all that stuff. And anything that you do, there's always a way to figure something out. But it's not a 10-year. You don't need to be in the music industry for 10 years to make it. You don't need to know 80,000 people. You don't need to have million streams on Spotify. Like, guys, I did all this with 300 followers on Twitter. Like, you know what I mean? There's no excuse. Like, I hate when people say there's no excuse, but there isn't an excuse.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to do is go learn, like educate yourself. That's a great, your tagline for is amazing. Like, there's no secret. It's only the stuff you're not learning or educating yourself on. You could easily type in on YouTube, like NFTs, Gary Vee, like, what does this mean? And just, that's the homework that it takes. Like I was sitting in my room, right?
Yep.
I know I have the ability to make it, right? But it doesn't matter. Like, what is that gonna get? That's gonna get me nowhere.
Absolutely.
I have to do something to change the situation that I'm in, and this is what I'm going to do. And there's an option now. Like, this is literally the ticket for you guys to put yourself on the field to play the game. Like, it just is what it is. Get on Twitter, ask questions to me, you, whatever. Like, people this early in the space, people are willing to teach. And we're always going to be here teaching because that's just like we are as people. But you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to hop on, message people, and just go at it. You know what I mean?
Before you go, I do have just another quick little lightning round. If you got a minute, so I'm gonna ask you three more questions before you get out of here, and just as quickly as you can, whatever comes to top of your mind. I'll just ask you a couple more questions. First is, what is the first concert you ever went to?
Damn, I'm gonna take heat for this, but my parents and my sisters dragged me to I think it was a Christina Aguilera concert at the Prudential, in New Jersey, man. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, no, don't feel bad, because I'm pretty sure my first concert was either Lila McCann, who's a country singer with some friends, or it might have been Britney Spears. So look, so I'm right there.
I mean, she was good. I'm not gonna lie, like, she was good, but man, that's a rough
exactly. So second question: what's the most memorable show you've ever been to? It could be the same one.
I'd say I was at Tortuga Festival. It's a country music festival in Florida.
Okay.
On Fort Lauderdale Beach. And I mean, I love every kind of music, right? Country, everything, and that's where I get my sound. But one of my favorite artists and bands is Zach Brown Band.
Okay.
And they were like the headliner, and I was sitting on that beach, and that was when I was at IMG. A couple of my buddies went down there, and he's playing this song called like Quiet Your Mind, and I'm like, I was like, if this is heaven. Like, I was the water, like, I don't know what it was. I got chills on my whole body. Like, that was the craziest experience of my life. I'm like, dude, if that's what music like does for people, like, sign me up. Like,
absolutely.
I could do this one day. So.
I hear you, man. I hear you. And then if you could go see anyone in concert, dead or alive, you can put people together. They can co-headline from any genre, any era. Who would you go see, and where would you go see them?
Oh. Well, I'm gonna say, oh man, I'm saying Yankee Stadium, because like I don't know why there's no concerts in the Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
First of all.
Okay.
But Ryan Tedder is like my biggest music idol right now.
The Colorado guy. Yes.
Yeah, he the way he structured his whole career of like, I love helping people, right? And I have a passion for writing and stuff. I mean, I want to be playing in arenas one day, but at the same time, I want to be working with artists, writing and stuff. So the way he structured his career, I'd say for sure Ryan Tedder. Ed Sheeran is probably like the first love of music that I had in terms of like just diving deep. I mean, Frank Sinatra, I'd throw back in there.
Oh, Blue Eyes. Okay. You got an all-star lineup here.
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, we got to go with the all-star lineup. Maybe
Okay.
maybe Elvis, and I got to throw a country singer in there. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Zach Brown. I think their
Okay.
music is just so like that's not even it is what it is. It's not
Right.
even country. It's just here's
Right.
great music. So
Exactly.
those are
No,
my
I,
five.
I like it, man. That's a show right there. Hey, if I
Crazy.
get a ticket, man, I get a ticket. I'll come out to Yankees for sure. I'll come see that.
That's funny. That's
For
funny.
sure, man. Well, hey, man, where can people find you? What's the best way for people if they
Yeah.
want to know more what's going on with PIP? Where can they?
Yeah. So every social, my handle is PipMusic_. Wherever you got, but follow me on Twitter and message me on Twitter if you guys have any questions about NFTs or anything. I'll hit you back.
Awesome. PIP, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking some time coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your story. Thanks for what you're doing. Also, not only, you know, in music for what you guys are doing over there at Cotton Candy Records, but also, you know, sharing and helping other people and just carrying that torch of wanting to see other people be successful too. Because I truly believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. And so even just by you doing this, and I'm hoping that millions of people hear this, not just so they hear my voice or this podcast or whatever, but they hear someone else's story that can help lift them up too and be like, you know what, I can do this. If Pip's saying if he can do it, I can do it, then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna go for it and I'm gonna do it too and build my team and we all go y'all go eat and go see that Yankee Stadium show.
Oh yeah, no, there's no reason why everybody can't eat.
Absolutely. Well, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
All right.
Easy on the eyes, like cotton candy skies. They get me every time. Oh, oh.